Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Nails and Flowers, or welcome if you're new. Today's video, I'm going to show you how I do clients' nails, a set of clients' nails. What? I can't talk today. I'm sorry. So we are gonna do black nails, completely black with a touch of white, some white straight lines on the ring finger. She just wanted something simple, and honestly, I'm feeling the vibe, especially with the black. I've done a lot of black nails lately. So starting off, removing the old set. This is a Valentine set. We did with some cat eye and cute hearts. I think this was the first time that I was testing out this drill bit. It's Magic Bits from Voodoo Profi. I tried it in the course I did in Barcelona and I fell in love with it, so much so that I just went online and bought 6 of them. One for each of my gel kits. And on the blue abrasive mark, I'm using 35,000 rotations per minute as always. It's so fast, it goes on so smoothly. All the clients have told me, like, they have noticed the difference. They're like, wow, it's like you're not doing anything. Not that it felt harsh before, but now it's just like completely smooth. I don't feel anything. Yes, I just hit my hand on the table. I'm sorry. I'm getting excited. So this drill bit, amazing. I'm gonna link it down below. As always, all the products are linked down below. But yeah, I bought 6 of them and I'm loving all of them. I bought the blue abrasive mark for the gel structured mani kits and the red abrasive mark for the gel polish kits that I have. I have 5 of them, I think. So in case you want to know how I organize that, I did a nail studio tour, but it was more like the whole room. I haven't really done how I work or my setup or how I store things, and especially the kits with the drill bits and sterilizing and disinfecting and all that. I was thinking about doing one, so it might come up soonish. I have time to film that. Anyway, yes, we're still removing. It is so fast, you guys. I went down from like 10-15 minutes of removal to 5 tops. You can see it in the video. It's sped up, but you can still see it. It's amazing. So after all this, I am going to remove all the dust with my brush. I'm going to go on the other hand, but I don't think I showed you that. Not fully anyway. And after that, we move on straight to Russian manicure. I grab my orange wood stick and we are pushing back and lifting up the cuticles. As always, you really want to be gentle with this. You don't want to be harsh at all. If you do hurt your client slightly on this point of the manicure, they are going to feel uncomfortable for the rest of it because they're going to pull back every time you touch their skin. Because they feel really vulnerable, if you know what I mean. Like you're supposed to be pushing back, cleaning up with drill bits and this noise and cutting skin. So obviously, if you hurt them at the very beginning, they are gonna get scared. I would as well. So just be gentle and take your time with this and make sure that you lift them up properly. If you don't lift them up properly with the orange wood stick, the Russian manicure after with the flame bit and stuff, it's not gonna go on smoothly. And it's not gonna get fully cleaned. So I am using talc. I said that very funny. Basically just to remove any moist that there may be on the skin, on the nail plate, and to make sure that I can really see the dry skin that I need to remove, both with the flame bit on the nail plate and with the cuticle scissors after that. So as always, I'm going at 15,000 rotations per minute on forward on the left side wall. And here's the new thing. I'm using this drill bit that I also tried at the nail course in Barcelona, and I fell in love with it even more than the removal bit. This is a red and blue abrasive mark flame bit. I think this is the 2.1 millimeter. Don't quote me on that, but I use either 2.1 or 2.3. It just depends on the client. I think with her I use 2.1, but I can't really tell from the video at the moment, and I don't remember by heart. So I am removing any lifting, and I am opening up the pores of the nail with the flame bit. I'm not going to do this with the 180 grit hand file after. We do this with the flame bit now. It's so much smoother and softer than the actual hand file. You don't hurt the client if you do it properly with the hand file, but I think this way you just make sure, that you're being very gentle and that you're only removing what you need to remove and opening up the pores and nothing else. I learned this at the course as well, and it's been working so well for me. And yeah, after one hand is done, I move on to the other on the same side. And then I change to reverse and go on the right side walls on both hands as well. I don't do one hand fully and then the other. I used to do that, but you lose a lot of time because in the end you are changing bits and rotations and all of it in between when you don't really need to. So I just do one side fully and then the other. And now I move on to scissors again on both hands. So I'm only cutting, as always, what needs to be removed. You don't want to make them bleed, you don't want to hurt them, and the scissors need to be properly placed. And you should only cut with the very tip of the scissors. These are still Stalex 20/1. I'm not sure I have filmed myself using the 23/1 ones. I'll try and do that in the next video if I remember, just so you can see how the cut changes a little bit because of the angle of the very tip of the scissors. But with this one, it's just the regular one that you've seen me do a lot of times, honestly. So I'm gonna shush for a little bit. So once it's all cut, we grab our flame bit again on forward at 6,000 rotations per minute, 6 RPM, and we polish the cut we just did, both on top of the skin, let's say on top of the nail plate, and under the cuticle. Not on top of the nail plate, on top of the cuticle of the proximal fold and underneath, because you did cut all the way through. So you want to make sure that you polish it completely from all the angles. You want to be gentle with this. You don't want to push into the skin. It's just the bit is gonna do the work itself if you really let it, let's say. And then we do the same with the silicone bit. I tend to change from 6 to 8 RPMs here. It just depends on the skin. For this one, I think I went for 6 because she has a sensitive skin. And now we just spray some water and the baby wipe to remove all the dust from her hands, my gloves, the station, just everything. We want everything to be completely dust free, because any dust is just gonna make lifting appear. Within the next few steps, I cannot talk today because the next few steps are gonna be application, obviously. After the water and the baby wipe, I go with some cleanser. This is Nails of the Day, I think. And it smells really good, by the way. I think it has like tea tree oil or something. Not oil, tea tree. I don't know the name now in English. But yeah, it helps with preventing fungus and infections and all of it. And it smells really good. All the clients tell me, this smells really nice now. So as you can see, I use 4 lint-free wipes. Yes, I don't go sparing on those. I use one for one hand, then another wipe for another hand, and then I grab another one. And then I go with the orange wood stick under the cuticle on both hands, changing wipes in the middle. I know it's a lot of lint-free wipes, but I just want to make sure, because I'm not gonna do dehydrator and primer always, I want to make sure that there's no oil and no anything that could cause any lifting. On this particular case, I did go with the hydrator because she has wet skin, let's say. It's really moist. So I was just trying to be careful. Also with the acid-free primer, I just went on those nails that had lifting, only on those. And now with the rubber base, I am trying out this Touch one. It's a new brand for me. And I'm really liking it. I like the color of the pot and the pot itself, the fact that they're like square. I don't know. They feel different, right? And this one is more of a liquidy one, which I'm not a fan of, but so far so good. It's given me good results, both with clients and on myself. It's lasting really well, and it's not causing heat in the lamp either. So yeah, just be careful because it's quite liquidy. But other than that, it's working really well. And same for the gel. This is their Builder gel. I think this is in caramel, color. And I would normally remove the inhibition layer from the rubber base before I go into the gel. Because it's the same brand, I think I just thought there's no need, and there is no need. But I normally do regardless, especially if I'm using different brands of rubber base and gel. But even if I'm using the same, I tend to do it just so I feel like it's easier. The gel application is a bit easier. So for this hand, it grows a bit crooked, but because we are gonna take off quite a lot of the length, I didn't really fix that before I apply the structure with the Builder gel. For this one, you are gonna see, I think, that I'm gonna try and lift it up. It's going downwards, so before I do the structure, I'm just gonna fix that first. Cure it for 30 seconds. This is the index finger. Cure it for 30 seconds, and then I am gonna do the proper structure. This is how I would normally fix downward growing nails. And for the crooked ones, it's basically the same, but instead of putting the blob of Builder gel on the tip, you put it on the side where you want to actually build the nail, the non-existing nail. For a normal nail, I think, oh no, this is still the index. Yes, I'm just doing the structure now. As I said, I cured what I did for 30 seconds. There's no need to go full cure. I do if the gel is really opaque or yeah, basically opaque, pigmented. That's the word I was looking for. In this case, it's really not. It's really see-through, kind of transparent. It doesn't look like it on the video, but in person you can really see it. You can see the natural nail more than with other Builder gels that I have, like Hey Love, Smart Gel and stuff. But I really like this color regardless. So yeah, this is just me building the structure as usual, doing a slip layer, big blob, and with a liner. This is a number 11. I'm just trying to move around the product however I want it. And while that cures, I am fixing this nail. This one doesn't really grow downwards, but it has really deep growth points. They curl under and they twist when the nail grows. So I'm trying to fix that now, creating, let's say, new sidewalls, like new growth points. And then when we file the nail from underneath, we are just going to take it off, preventing any lifting there. Again, curing this for 30 seconds and then moving on with the slip layer and the structure, building the structure properly. And now for, let's say, a nail that doesn't need any correction, this is what I would do. I just go in with the slip layer, grab a small amount of the gel because I don't want to overflow. This gel is quite a thick consistency, medium I would say. So I wouldn't really need to do this, like adding with the liner gel after. I would do this if it was more liquidy, but I did it in this case just because. So once all the nails are done, obviously, and cured for 60 seconds, we move on to the filing. I was off camera for 3 of the fingers, I'm sorry. I don't really want to show you all of them either way because this would be really boring. So here you go. I'm trying to fix this one, the pinky that grows a bit crooked. And as you saw, I did take off quite of the length. So that's how I fixed it. And then we move on to filing the bulk of the nail on the sides especially. And yeah, before this I did take, I think you saw, I did take the inhibition layer off with some alcohol. So basically you want to do the shaping first and then move on to the structure and proceed to like take off the bulk on the sides of the nails so they look thin enough. And after all that is done, we are moving on to filing underneath. We are grabbing our carbide bit on green abrasive mark 18 RPMs and we just take off any of the bulk underneath so the nail looks and feels thin. And then as always, I am taking both hands, trying to match the index fingers. Then the index is the same as the ring finger, the middle finger is slightly longer, the pinky is slightly shorter. She wants it really short in this case because she doesn't like to have long nails. Sometimes she makes me do the index finger even shorter than the ring finger because obviously she has a longer nail plate on the ring finger and she doesn't want the index finger to have a larger free edge. This is a complaint that some people have when they want really short nails. And the thumb, we want it slightly longer as well than the rest of the nails. And as I said, just going underneath to make sure that there's no natural nail there that may cause lifting, and to make sure that the nails are thin. Then obviously with some water again and with a baby wipe, we are taking off all the dust. And then with the lint-free wipe with some alcohol, we are taking off all the dust from all the crevices and under the cuticle on the nail plate because we don't want any moisture there from the water or the wipe. And today, as I said, we are doing black nails. I'm using Hey Love Off gel polish. It's my favorite black. I'm doing it in the thinnest layer possible and you can see how pigmented that is. Insane. Insanity. So much so that I only did 1 layer. I was going to do 2 and when I did the first I was like, I do not need to do a second one. So I pushed back the cuticles and I grabbed my liner, number 11, and I went under the cuticle. I am going to show you a few clips from a few different nails so you see how I try to push the skin back with one hand and go under the cuticle with the liner with the other. So I did the black base on all of them, and then I grabbed my white liner. This is Alicia Nails, I think. Been using it for years. I love it. And I'm just gonna do 3 straight white lines. 2 are slightly thicker, and then another one is gonna be thinner. For this one, I grabbed a number 15 liner brush that I have. It's from Shein, so it's not the thinnest one, but because we wanted it thicker, I didn't really mind. And because it is longer, it works well. It's just that it's a tiny bit thick for my taste. So I was able to do a straight line as I wanted it. And then I did another one slightly thinner, but not much, almost the same. Trying to match the same on the other side as a mirror. And then I grabbed my 11 liner and I did a thinner layer across. And then for top coat, I am going to use Touch Non-Wipe with no UV. Again, this is on a 30 milliliter pot, so I'm using a flat brush that I have from the same collection as the other brushes. And again, as the rubber base, it's a tiny bit too liquidy for my taste. What I'm gonna do is buy the 12 or 15 milliliter bottle, I'm not sure how big it is, and use that. And when that's over, I'm gonna use that same brush to use this potted both the rubber base and the top, because I feel like these brushes just grab too much product and you have as much control as the other one. So I'm gonna try that and let you know. In any other case, the top coat worked wonders, and it is pretty. It did not come back as shiny as you're seeing it right now, which is a pity, but I can't really find a good top coat, no wipe, no UV, that comes back with shine after 3 weeks. So I'm filing, not reshaping, but redefining the shape and making sure that from this angle the nails look thin as well. And after some oil and hand massage with some cream, this is the finished result. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you on the next one. Bye!